Hi, before we begin, I just want to say that this video is entirely inspired by Eliotex concept brought up like a day ago where he explained the basics of this discovery. His video will be linked in the description as he allowed me to create this one just for 1.16 plus. This video is just meant to clarify some things, which means explaining why the discovery is kind of groundbreaking, but has like a one huge downside in speedruns. There's not much explaining. The rule applies to newer versions of the game even better than previous ones, but not in the way I expected. I have tested many variants, hit on start, hidden in the middle, as well as test each of the variants at least twice. Every single video with hitting an entity shows that Eliotex theory on sprinting without losing the hunger applies here, but to a ridiculous scale. I thought until yesterday that mechanics for losing hunger has changed to apparently only register when the player is found sprinting on the ground, as opposed to the old methods, but that doesn't make sense since, as we now check the video, sprint jump plus hitting is a bit worse than just sprinting. What also doesn't make sense now is NinjaBrain's food guide on HyperModern. It clearly shows that in 1.16 plus runs it is much more efficient to sprint jump than just sprint, but that doesn't connect when we take the distances of the blocks. Going further into the footage, I have run about 20k blocks with sprint hitting and did not lose a single hunger bar, but in sprint hit jumping I lost 1.5 bar and still got 10k mark. Since anyway in speedruns we won't be covering that much amount of blocks anyways, but I just wanted to state the point. My only explanation for this phenomenon is that upon hitting an entity, the game renders us as a static player model, which basically makes our hunger depletion close to zero. And when we jump, the hunger is only depleted because of the jumping, not the sprint itself. As you can clearly see by the videos, hitting an entity in both cases, sprint or sprint jumping, basically nullifies hunger depletion. We will travel insanely stupid amount of blocks and literally lose minimalistic amounts of hunger. That is insane. And coming to the downside of this strat is that when we stop sprinting, we have to start sprint hitting and sprint hit jumping again as the game rendered that we stopped and started moving again. And I mean, that's bad because in current speedruns we would have to constantly find entities and to sprint hit jump so we keep our buff going. And as we all know, it's going to be hard as we have to do many things at once that are required to stop, like crafting, bridging, fighting, throwing ice, and etc. All in all, this discovery is huge for the whole community as it brings easy way to survive longer without a food source and creates many possibilities. Also, last thing, if someone is brave enough to test when this hour hunger starts depleting on sprint hit 1.16 or just basically completely depletes, but it's going to be a large number, like 100,000 blocks, maybe even higher, I think, or depletes completely on sprint hit jumping 1.16, it's going to be like maybe 50,000 blocks, I'm guessing. Let me know in the comments. It's useful knowledge. Maybe together we will figure this phenomenon out because it's actually interesting. I actually hope my theory and testing is somehow correct, and let's just give Eliotex some attention as he deserves it for such a discovery. Also, I'm leaving block distance stats in the comments as well as links to the Eliotex videos and NinjaBrain's food guide. See ya in the next one.